Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'd like to welcome you to the introduction of the Arabic letters. The purpose of this goal is to make the sounds that the Arabic letters make a lot easier for you. So what I'd like you to do is start out with a few helping tools. Number one, if you don't mind grabbing a mirror, a full-faced mirror would be great. It doesn't have to be huge. It could even be FaceTime on your phone. And I want you to look into the mirror when you're making these sounds. Number two, I'd also like you to feel free to rewind these videos and listen to them as often as possible. We made videos so that you could pause, so that you could try to listen to the sound a few times, and so that you could go back and rewind whenever you needed. Number three, if you're really adventurous and you really want to benefit the most out of these next few videos, what I'd like you to do is record yourself saying the letter and then listen back to what you've said. Play it back. Hear if you're making the sound similarly. Now, the mirror is going to show you whether your lips are moving when mine aren't. Rewinding it is going to give your ear a little bit of time to hear sounds that maybe you didn't hear previously. And number three, recording yourself is going to give you the opportunity to see that a video can't correct you. So we have 9 videos ahead of us. Let's go ahead and get started with lesson number 1. There are 29 letters in the Arabic alphabet, and there are just a few sounds that we need to make. Some of them are not going to be similar to English, so I'm not going to be able to use a word for all of them. Now let's take the first letter. It's a straight line, and that straight line looks like a stick, maybe like a tree. So just open your mouth and say, ah, ah. Now this ah shouldn't take much effort at all. I'd like you to try, in English, try the word apple. Try the word apple or application. Ah, ah. It has a soft, simple sound, and it's not very technical. Try it with me and say the word at. Say the word at. Now in Arabic, we're going to take the letter alif, that makes an ah sound, and let's say the word together. Abadan, abadan. How about another example? Let's try one together. And that would be anta, anta, Let's try it again. Anta. And a last example, maybe it'll help you pronounce things a little clearer, is amara. 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 Excellent. So as you can see, the first letter in Arabic's real simple, easy to make the sound. I want you to be careful not to over-exaggerate and say, oh, oh. See the O-ing of the mouth and the kind of forcing in the throat? Let's try it again. Anta, abadan, amara, Excellent. The next 3 letters, they look like a boat. So the first boat has one boy at the bottom. Can you say ba, ba? Let your lips touch and say ba. The sound that this letter makes, the boat with one boy at the bottom, is ba, ba. Kind of like a B. But it's not perfect, so let's try it together. Babun, babun. Let's try the word baraka, baraka. Excellent. Let's try maybe one that's a little easier. Open your mouth and use the alif, a, ab, wab, wabun, wabun, wabun. Okay, not that bad. The second boat, if you look at it, it has 2 boys in it. Now I don't want you to tick the sound. I want you to think about the word or the sound da, da. Touch your teeth to behind the top 2 teeth. Touch your tongue behind the top 2 teeth and say da. Make sure the sound doesn't tick. Try saying da, da. Now let's try one together. Anta, anta, anta. Now, if you were saying it wrong, you'd hear something like anta, So let's try it together. Touch the top teeth. Da. Now I want to try a simple one, but I'd like you to practice it a few times. tum, tum. Pucker your lips and say tum, tum. Excellent. Now we had the word anta, tum. And simply put, let's try one. Pucker your lips again. Kunta, kunta. Great. Now, thus far, the first three letters sounds have been pretty simple. The next letter is the third boat. It has three boys in it, but we don't have this sound in the English language. So let's try it together. You're going to bring your tongue out to the edge of the top teeth, stick your finger out, and lick the end of your finger with your tongue. You got it? Okay, I've got it. So it's the tip of my tongue coming up out at the edge of my top teeth. Now I'd just like you to simply blow the air between your tongue and your teeth. Your tongue and your teeth. Try it with me. Simple. Simple. Now we're going to try it together and say tha. And I know when you watch the video, you can actually see my tongue come right up to the edge of the teeth, right here. Practice it again. Move your tongue back and forth. And say simple. Excellent. Let's try a few examples together. 3 in Arabic is thalatha. Thalatha. Excellent. Now let's try something a little bit more exciting. Let's put a connect on top of the tha, blow the air, and say athlu, athlu. Now this is not exactly a word, but I want to practice before we get to an actual example. Now an example that you'll find in the Quran is thuluth, thuluth. Excellent. Let's try it again. Thuluth. And a simpler example would be the word thamina, thamina. So all you're doing here is blowing the air between your tongue and the edge of the top teeth. Of the 4 sounds we've done already, a, ba, da, and the third one, tha. Of the 4 sounds that we've done, tha is the only one we don't necessarily have in English. Make sure you rewind this cassette or rewind the tape and see if you can record yourself, look into a mirror saying them, and inshallah, God willing, you'll find the sounds to be simpler the next time around. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the second edition of the Arabic Sounds video series. The objective today is to cover 3 letters. These 3 letters look the same but all make different sounds. So let's get started. I hope you have your mirror with you and that you're ready to benefit as much as you can. We're just trying to make the sounds as tangible as possible. So the 3 letters that we're tackling today are Jim, Ha, and Kha. The first letter, straight line with a C, it's got a dot in between, and that is going to be the sound ja, ja. But let's take a step back and let's try it in English. This does correlate with the sounds that we have in English. Can you say the word jug or jump? Try the word George. Do you notice there's a little bit of strength in the sound that's coming out? You don't say jug or George. Now what I want you to do is be sure of that whenever pronouncing this letter, the sound shouldn't be really running in your mouth. Say jump, jump. Great. Now the first letter, it's got a dot in between. The name of the letter is Jim. So if you can say ja, ja, ja. Like the word jannatun, jannatun, jannatun. Great. Let's try another one, maybe a little bit simpler. You'll hear the sound bounce a little bit, but you'll figure out why later. Let's try the word ajma'in, ajma'in. Didn't really work out, right? That little ayn sound didn't work. Okay, let's try something a little bit easier. How about the word jabalun? We did the ba already, right? So let's try that again. Jabalun, jabalun. Great. We got one more before we leave. Let's try it together. Jama'a, jama'a. Great. Now, you might be a little overwhelmed by some of the other sounds, but take it as it comes. The next letter is a jug, but it's hollow. It's empty. So if you can try it with me, just take a big sip out of your lemonade, take a big gulp out of it, and when you're done on a hot summer day, you'll say, you'll take a big sip and say, that's the hollow sound in the jug, which is the name of the letter ha, ha. So let's practice a few sounds in English first. Try saying it at home. Think about the word spicy hot. Spicy hot, like a jalapeno or like eating achar or firfir. Something spicy and you start saying ha, ha, ha. That's the same place that the sound of this letter will come out of. Let's try it together. Ha. It doesn't take any effort, just like when you let your air out after taking a big sip. Great. Let's take some examples together. The name of the letter is ha, and the sound that it makes is hamada, hamada. Let's try another example, like alhamdu, alhamdu. How about a simpler one? We did ta with 2 dots on top. Let's touch the top 2 teeth. Hatta, hatta. For those of you who are home having a small asthma attack and you're kind of getting overwhelmed, you're trying too much. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hatta comes out very naturally. Comes out from the second part of the throat. Hatta. Ha. Excellent. The third letter, straight line with the C, but now it has a dot on its head. It has a small dot. I want you to say the word scratch with me. The name of this letter is kha. Say the word in English, scratch. And when something has a scratch, you tend to kind of scratch it a little bit. So scratch the back of your throat and say kha, kha, scratch. Let's try the word together. Yakhruju, yakhruju. Excellent. Let's try one more. Yakhruju. Let's try the word kharaja. So we've seen the jim before, the jug with the dot inside. Let's try it together. Kharaja. Little side note. Did you see the lips O for ra? I'm not saying kharaja. I'm saying kharaja. Jug. Jump. Kharaja. Excellent. I think we've seen quite a few examples for today. I want you to rewind the video or the YouTube clip or however you're viewing this and make sure you're recording yourself and getting the right sound out. I pray that this benefits you and that those who seek guidance can find it. I'll see you in the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the third installment of the Arabic sounds. Today we're going to be tackling 4 letters. They look very similar and they're pretty easy to write. What I'd like you to focus on today is the difference in the sounds. I'm going to say them correct, but I'm also going to say them wrong. It's a video at the end of the day, so what you really need to do is kind of pause it when you can't tell what the difference is. So the 4 letters that we're doing today, the first letter, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like the mouth of Pac-Man. It's the name of this letter is dal, dal. So let's take some examples. First, I want you to tap your tongue behind the top teeth. Try it with me. Da, 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 dal, dal. Great. Now let's take it a step forward and see how far we can get with this. Can you say abadan, abadan? Can you say do? Can you pucker your lips and say do? Now let's try the name of the first prophet, Adam. It's got an alif in it, it has an alif, and it has a dal. So try it with me. Adam, Adama. Now we said we'd practice them incorrect, so let's try it wrong. Make the dal into a D, and your tongue's going to kind of curl up and hit the top of your mouth. This is what I don't want you to do, is say Adam, da, da. You see it in the English language, if someone's name is Adam, you say da, da. I'd like you to touch your tongue behind the top teeth and say Adam, Adam. Okay, excellent. Let's try the word adbara. Adbara. It bounces. You don't know why, but I say you roll with it. Adbara. So we have the alif, the dal, the ba, and the ra's coming right up. Try it again. Adbara. Adbara. Great. The next sound doesn't necessarily exist in the English language, so I want you to practice it like we practiced the third boat, the simple sound. Bring your tongue out to the same spot, right here at the edge. If you want to do the exercise with me, you're at home, no one can see you, don't worry about it. Lick the end of your finger. Okay, I got it. Now, there you go. I got it out of my mouth. Lick it one more time. Okay, I got it out of my mouth. Now I can use it. Keep your tongue out and say zipper. Say zip. Try the word zebra. If you put your teeth together, what's going to happen is you're going to get a zzz. We don't want a buzzing sound. So let's try it again. Bring your tongue out of your mouth and kind of rub it back and forth. And now let the air vibrate, or let the sound vibrate. Zipper. Zipper. Excellent. Now the name of this letter, it looks like a dal with a dot on top of it, is za. Zal. Zal. Fantastic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a few examples. Let's try ذكر. 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 I think you feel pretty comfortable with that. The only thing that you need to realize is this is the second sound that doesn't exist in English. So the first one was simple. The second one was the. My only little advice before we go, and I've seen this in thousands of students across all of the classes, you're looking at me and I'm going zip, and my tongue is out of my mouth. And I have a gut feeling that some of you are bending your tongue, and the middle of your tongue is coming out of your mouth. So make sure your tongue's out. You got it? And say zip. Excellent. ذكر. And let's take one more. ذكروا. ذكروا. Great. We only have two more letters left, and this next letter looks like a comma. You know, the things you use to separate a list? Let's try it together. Say raw. Raw. It's like what a lion says. Raw. It's the way you eat your steak. Raw. The issue here is I don't want you to O your mouth. I'd rather you not do this. Raw. Don't use your lips to pronounce raw. Raw. Now, a lot of times people don't realize, but the letter raw, they pronounce it with an Aasan. Ra. Ra. So let's try it together. Say the fish is raw. Raw. You take your tongue and say Robert. Rolling. Raw. Great. So the comma makes the sound raw. Let's try it again. Let's try the word. Bring your tongue out. ذكر. ذكر. Raw. Excellent. And I'm sure you can see that the mouth really isn't owing here to make this sound. It's the tongue that's being used to say aw. Aw. Raw. So let's try a simpler word that you recite every day. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Rahim. Try it with me. Rahim. You've got your mirrors. Let's make use of them. The last and final letter is like the word buzz in English. It's, I think, it looks like a semicolon. It's a raw with a dot on top of it. It's a comma with a dot on top of it. It's like a semicolon. Try it with me. Say the word buzz. Buzz. You got it? Now let's try it together. Zakara. Now that's not a word, but you hear the difference? Za. It has the buzz in it. Now, where do we pay 2.5% every year? We pay zakah. Zakah. So now you hear the difference between the zipper and now the word zipper. Let's try one together. Zakariya. Zakariya. Good. Let's try the word zakah. Zakah. And here's a simple one. Try the word rizqa. 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 Great. So thus far, nothing has asked us or nothing has demanded from us to pucker our lips or to O our lips. The word is to O our lips. I'm hoping that this video is starting to help you out, and I pray that you're benefiting from them. Please make sure to record yourself and have your mirror with you. I'll see you in the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to part 4 of the Arabic Sounds video series. Insha'Allah, God willing, today our focus is going to be on 3 letters. These 3 letters, they all exist and you've all heard them before. They exist in the English language. What I need you to do is get comfortable with the sound. They're going to deal with types of S's, like an S. You're going to hear different phrases and different sounds and kind of a different sense of the air running, the voice running. I want you to be ready for this. So let's try today. It's a W with a little bit of a hook at the end. Let's try together and say sa, sa, seen, seen. Great. Pretty simple. It's like letting air out of a tire. Let's try it together. If you're letting the air out of a tire or out of a pump, you'll hear s. I know you can't see this sound as much, but I'm sure you can hear it. Let the air out of a tire. Got it. Let's try it together. Sami'a, sami'a. Just open your mouth. Sami'a. Good. That was pretty simple. Let's try a name. Let the air out of the tire. Asma, asma, asma. Great. There are a lot of examples that we can use. Let's try a simple one like asma'un, or let's try sama'un, sama'un. Simple. I think it works for you. Let's try the next letter. It's the same shape, the W with the hook at the end, but it has 3 dots. So when you see these 3 dots, you're going to make the sound sh. It's an S sound, but the sound is you're going to hear it kind of spread. So can you say shams? Say should, should. I should practice this video. Try it with me. Sheen, sheen. Gorgeous. Now let's try it all together. Say ash-shamsu. It's got the seen at the end, okay? Ash-shamsu, ash-shamsu. Good. Let's try another one. Sha-ja-ra. Okay, you know all 3 of these letters, so let's try it together. Sha-ja-ra. The sheen is spreading. The jeem has some strength in it. And the ra, I don't want you to O your lips. It'll be better if you don't. Let's try it together. Sha-ja-ra. Shajara. Excellent. Now, we're going to take the last letter. It's going to sound like filling air into a pump. So I would like you to, and it's going to make you feel a little uncomfortable at home, but that's why these are videos. Grab the end of your pump and press it down. The air fills up just like it does in a pump. So I want you to say the word nails, hammer, and a saw. Saw. Nails, hammer, and a saw. Okay. I can't hear you at home. So what I want you to do is remember, my lips aren't O-ing, and your cheeks don't need to fill up. It's a practice tool. So let's try it together. Saw, saw, saw. Now watch this. Saw, saw. You see the lips moving? You don't want them moving. And at home, I can almost hear you saying suwa. So, wait a minute. Why am I moving my lips? Say nails, hammer, and saw, saw. Great. So fill the air one time. Saw. Now let's try the easiest and most blessed word in our day. Salah, salah, salata, salata, not ta. Salata. Excellent. Let's try one more word. Put the on top, and then fill the air with the pump. Ashabu, Ashabu. Ashabu. You know all the letters in that word. Ashabu. But you saw at the end there, careful not to get the O. Ashabu. Excellent. I pray that this was beneficial to you, and we're pretty much more than halfway. So I pray you have the opportunity to watch the next few videos and benefit from them. Have your mirror, your recording, and make sure you watch these videos a few times. I'll see you soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to video 5 of the Arabic Sounds video series. Today, insha'Allah, we're going to tackle only one letter. The reason why we're only tackling one letter today is this letter doesn't exist. The sound that it produces doesn't exist in any other language. And that is the saw, sawd with a dot on top of it. It's called lawd. Now the first thing we need to know is not what sound it makes, is that it is a brand new sound to your ear. So what I recommend is just watch the video through and through. First hear the sound, because this is like your baby ears hearing something brand new. So please feel free to watch the video through. I'll keep it as concise as possible, but watch it through and keep here listening to law, lawd. It has a sound before it. And it's not a D and it's not a Z. So that's going to be our second lesson for today. Don't make a D sound or a Z sound. Dad or zad, zwad. Try not to do that, and it would be a lot easier if you just listened one more time. You're going to take the sides of your tongue, not the front. Bod. Okay, it didn't have a D, it didn't have a Z. I didn't move my lips at all. So what exactly was going on? I used the sides of my tongue to touch the big teeth in the back, the molars. So my tongue's going to press up to the side. Bo. You kind of hear the sound before it comes out of my mouth. Bo. Now we call it like a bullfrog. Have you ever seen a frog when they ribbit? They don't use the front of their mouth. It actually just fills up. Bo. So you've heard it a few times. I'll give you a few examples, and I'd like you to practice it to the best of your ability. Let's try it together. Dalala. Good. Let's try one more. Pucker your lips. Yudlil. Okay. Now, you're telling yourself, no. The last 4 videos worked for me, this one didn't. If anything's going to be new to your ear, it's not difficult, it's just new. So give it a little bit of time. Side of the tongue is going to be flat. I'm going to press it to one side here. Bod. Keep practicing. Use your mirror. Make sure your lips are not touching. Zwad. That would be wrong, that would be off. But I'm sure you're going to get a lot better at home. So let's try the word dalala. Great. Now let's try a simple one. Bo. Fantastic. That's going to be today's lesson. I kept it short so that you'd watch this video at least 3 times. And I'm sure it's going to get a little bit taxing. But do your best, insha'Allah. I'll speak to you all soon in the next video. Take care. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Everyone, welcome to video number 6 of the Arabic Sounds video series. Okay, one more time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I welcome everyone to the 6th installment of the Arabic Sounds video series. Today's objective is going to have 4 letters in it. These 4 letters, not difficult at all, something you might have heard possibly in the English language, something that you can relate to. These sounds are simple. I want you to go ahead and try them with me. The 4 letters we're tackling today are ta, va, a, gha. So let's try it together. It's a little fish with the line that comes out of it, the fish with the line that comes out of it. Take your tongue and press it to the top teeth and just bounce it off a little bit. Ta, 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 ta. You hear that? Ta, 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 ta. Don't O the lips and say it with me. Ta, ta. This one has a little ah in it. You've noticed a few that do. Let's try it together. Ta. Now let's take it in an example of a word. طعام طعام طعام. Great. Let's try another one. This one's going to bounce a little bit. الطعام الطعام apple apple. Make sure the lips don't O, and also keep in mind that the sound is going to be pressed against the top 2 teeth. طا طا. Great. The next letter, straightforward. You're going to do the exercise for the simple zipper. Take your tongue, lick the end of it. Tongue is out. It's not out. It's not out. Bang it out. Here you go. Here with me. Give a little gas to the bike. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Va, va, va. If your tongue's not coming out completely, you're going to get your motorcycle will be broken. Tongue out. Like a blender, hit the button. The sound here vibrates. So vibrate it with me, please. Va. Great. Let's try 2, 3 examples. Zalama. 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 Great. Let's try another example with an alif. Al-lamu. 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 Great. And I think you need one more example, right? Because you've been watching these videos you're on the 6th one. So let's try the word zalim. Bring your tongue out. Zalim. Zalim. Great. Alhamdulillah. We pray that you can now take the next 2 letters and write down the word. Write the word for me. Write it on the top. Lift, don't push. Lift, don't push. Lift, don't push. Now I want you to lift the sound, don't push it. Lift it with me. It's 2 C's. Ah, ah, ah. It's like biting a big apple. Ah, ah. Great. It didn't take a lot of effort, and it's not overwhelming. Let's try it together. Ah, ah. The name of the letter is Ain. Great. The first example is amala, amala, amala. You don't have to lose your lunch in order to say this correctly. And let me show you an example. Say ra, fa, a, which means to lift, or he lifted, so I want you to lift it with me. Rafa'a, rafa'a, a. Do you see how the sound's kind of just lifting and coming right out? You don't need to say rafa'a. What am I doing? I'm pushing there. Don't want you to push. So let's try it again. Rafa'a. Great. A simpler example that would help you lift it in the middle of a word is ma'akum. Ma'a. Ma'akum. Excellent. So I know you're waiting for this example because everyone recites it in their prayer daily. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As opposed to Alameen. Don't O your mouth and lift the sound. The last sound for today, simple. We do it every morning. You finish brushing your teeth, put some water inside, and you gargle your mouth. Lift your head. Gha, gha, gha. You know that you're gargling salt or salt water or whatever it is. Try it again. Gha, the name of the letter ghain. So let's try it together. Ghafara, ghafara, ghafara. Fantastic. Let's try the word ghafir. Can you hear it in the background? That little gargle. Ghafir, ghafir. And in Surah Fatiha, what we read daily, Mawdubi. I got that bod in there, right? Let's try it together. Gargle it. Mawdubi. Mawdubi. Great. So today we did ta, Press the top teeth. Bring it out of the mouth. Va, a, gha. Make sure you lift your eyes, gargle your ghains. I'd like you to kind of tap on your thaws and vibrate your vas. I pray I get the opportunity to meet with all you again. We're getting pretty close to the end. I'll see you very soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to the 7th video in our Arabic Sounds video series. Insha'Allah, today we're going to be tackling 3 letters. Pretty straightforward, won't take you a whole lot of time today. The first letter is the letter kaf. The first letter is kaf. Now I want you to kind of say the word with me. Say cat, kite. Say the word kind. It has a k sound in it. So let's try it together. كَذَلِكَ. Bring your tongue out for the dhal, please. Bring it out. كَذَلِكَ. Ka. Fantastic. Let's try the word ذَلِكَ. Ka. Let's try the word, oh, here's a good one. How about كَذَلِكَ? You did one. Now do خَ, لَ, قَ, ka. You did the scratch. خ لا ق ك. خ لا ق ك. Good. That's going to take a little time. I'd go over that. So the kaf is pretty simple. Now we're going to move to the next letter. I want you to know that it's not in the throat. Qaf, the round circle with 2 dots, is not in your throat. Let's try it together. Qa, qa. I want you to think of a crow. Qa, qa. When it makes a sound, it doesn't go ka, ka. Nor does it go caw, caw. And some very weird crows if they sound like that. Let's try it again. Caw, caw. Watch this. You don't want the O, so think again. Let's say the word cough. Cough. That's kind of in my mouth. Let's put it back a little bit. Cough, cough, cough. Do you see the rounding of my mouth at all? Cough. No, you don't really see cough. I'm not saying cough, cough. Try it again. Cough. Qaf. Great. And for some of you who say khaf or who scratch the sound, I want you to think middle of your mouth. Start saying ka, 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 qa, qa, qa. It's still in the mouth. Great. So ka. Now let's try some examples. Say haqqa, haqqa. Let's try the same example we did before. Scratch it. Khalaqaka, khalaqaka. Great, great. Now the last one, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I want you to blow the air and say F, say off. Turn it off. Now I'd like you to say fa, fa. Great. You know all these letters? Count it off with me. Fataha, fataha, fataha. Let's try another one. Blow through it. Afwaja. Now you remember that strength? Afwaja, afwaja. Great. 3 letters for today. I'm sure you're ready for the next installment. Inshallah, I'll see all of you very soon. I pray and recommend that you rewind these videos. And I know the letters are going forwards and backwards, but again, we're putting them in an order that you can practice them to the best of your ability. So don't worry about the order because ka and qa are very similar. Inshallah, I'll see you all soon. Take care. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I welcome you to video number 8 of our Arabic Sounds video series. Today, 3 letters, straightforward. You know all these sounds already yourself. So if you can say them with me. La, ma, na. That's lam, mim, and noon. Today we're going to practice L, M, N. I want you to use your whole tongue when using the L and say la, wala, wala. If you're not using your whole tongue, you're going to end up with walla, la. It's going to become a short sound. So use the whole front and say la, awwala, awwala, awwala. Try the word ضلالة. Side of the tongue, fill the air with the ضاد. ضلالة. Great. I think you have it pretty clear. Can you try one with me? Bismillah, millah, millah. Great. The next letter is meme. It is the sound of your lips coming together. And say it with me. Ma. Now I want you to press your lips and just say hum. Can you hum? Say hum. Now I want you to say a. Ma. 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 Great. Try the word maliki, maliki, maliki. Good. That one was simple. Let's try the word jama'a, jama'a, jama'a. Great. As long as you're not saying ma, ma. See how the top lip's not moving? Jama'a, jama, or ma kataba, or ar-rahma. Let's try it. Ar-rahmani. Great. The last letter for today will be the letter noon. If you can say na, say subhana, subhana, na. Great. Subhanallah. Fantastic. So we've seen a couple of noons. If you want to end on a simple example, then you can say noon, noon. Let's try one simpler one. With a jug, start with strength. Ja'alnakum. Are you saying ja'alnakum? Ja'alna? Ja'alnakum. Great. You have some solid examples. Rewind where you can. Please listen to yourself on this one. You're going to have to record yourself and listen to ja'alna, ar-rahma. Listen to ja'alna, ar-rahmani. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to video number 9, the final in our Arabic Sounds video series. Today, bi'idhnillah, we are going to tackle the rest of the letters for today. So we finished off on lam, mim, and noon. Now we're going to do waw, ha, hamza, and ya. So what I'd like you to do is practice along with me. These are very straightforward, so you'll know these as you go along. So let's try it together. Everyone say wet, wet. Let's try the letter wow. See, when I turn myself to the side, am I owing my lips here? Wow, wow. I'd rather you not say wah, wah. Let's try it together. Say wow. Excellent. Now you're going to write two words for me here. Write the word wet and the word what. It's closer to wet. Stay away from samawati, wa versus wa, wa. Great. Let's take some examples. The lips are going to touch. Awwala, awwala, awwala. Excellent. Don't forget your lam. Your L is going to be used with the whole tongue. Awwala. Let's try a simpler one. Walada, walada, walada. Samawati, samawa, wa. Watch at home. Wa, wa. Don't press those lips together. Samawati. Great. The next letter is the letter ha. I want you to write the word give up. And you're just going to give up and just let a sigh of relief off. It's the 9th video. I'm done. Say ha. Great. It's coming from the first part of my throat. The first part of my throat. Let the air out and say hadha. Tongue comes out. Hadha. Hadha. Let's try it in Surah Fatiha. Let the E out and then the air. Dina. Dina. Na. Great. Straightforward. The second to last letter is Hamza. It makes the same sound as an alif. So remember the word application. Antum. Antum. Ma. Al. Na. Excellent. So alif and hamza make the same sound. And finally, you have the letter ya. Say ya, ya. The only mistake that creeps up, and really I wouldn't be able to tell you through video, you might not be able to hear it yourself, but sometimes people let their ya run away. So I don't want you to blow the air in your mouth and get a yeah, yeah. Use your tongue, yeah, yeah. Make sure the air is being captured in your mouth and say yeah. Let's try an example. Iyaka. That would kind of be a little choked. Iyaka would kind of be letting it go too much, so let's try it together. Don't choke it, don't let it run. Iyaka, iyaka. Let's try it. Iyaka. Excellent. Iyaka. You just don't want it to kind of have a gene inside of it. But don't worry. It's the last letter. You'll take your time. You'll get it. Now this is going to complete our series. We've done all 29 letters and the sounds. What we're going to ask that you do is, if you've benefited from these videos, then see how you can support these type of videos from being produced. That's what we ask, and we pray that if you benefited from them, you pray for those who produce them and all the people behind the scenes, because you can't see the guy holding the light or the brother holding the reflector or the persons who are coaching me behind the camera. Make dua for them, and if you can support this by teaching others the correct way and by supporting this cause, it would be wonderful. Take care, Jazakallah khairan, and look out for the next video series. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is your brother Wissam Sharif. Remember everyone in your prayers and stay strong and study the Book of Allah.